All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Ilan Sobel. He is the CEO of BioHarvest Sciences. And Ilan, welcome back. Nice to see you again.
Steve, it's great to be with you again. Looking very bright and shiny this morning.
Yes. Well, we've got some interesting things to talk about. You've released some guidance for 2022, and in this guidance, you've put some pretty decent numbers out as well, and increasing numbers. So tell me a little bit overall about this guidance you're posting.
So what's unique about our company, Steve, is that unlike other small cap companies, we're generating revenue, and we're actually putting our foot forward and being clear with our shareholder partners on what revenue numbers we're aiming to hit for 2022, which is quite unique for a small cap company. And we've shared our revenue numbers, and we are working to deliver significant growth in 2022 versus 2021. We provided guidance of US dollars 5 to 7 million in revenue, which is a 2.5 times to 3.5 times better delivery versus what we delivered in 2021. And what's important to also understand, Steve, in 2021, we actually increased our guidance 2 times. Right. As you know, after 18 years at Coke, one thing that Coke taught me was how to execute on a strategy, and we're continuing to execute on our successful strategy. And obviously, we're always aiming to make sure that we're delivering on what we say we're going to deliver, and if we can do more, even better.
So, Ilan, what's going to drive this year? What are the catalysts that you want to hit to get these numbers accurate?
So, Steve, the big focus is around some serious scaling of our VINIA US business. We did in 2021 the VINIA pilot. We had fantastic results as it relates to key metrics related to overall performance. Metrics such as 83% of our business today in the US is a subscription business. Of that subscription business, more than 70% of people are subscribing to 3-month or more subscriptions of VINIA, which is amazing because you've got that recurring revenue. And what held us back from increasing the scaling of the pilot was the fact that we've been hand to mouth from an inventory perspective. As many of our shareholder partners know, we've been working like crazy to bring up to speed and bring online, as we say in the industry, our new 20-ton facility that we built over the last 12 months. So we're very, very focused on bringing online that new facility over the next couple of months, which means that we can really start to kind of open up the floodgates as it relates to scaling our already very successful US pilot. And we're super excited. The consumer feedback on VINIA as a product has been amazing. I encourage everybody to go to vinia.com, have a look at the reviews page. You can read all the reviews in detail. We have very, very high ratings, 4.8 out of 5 rating for a dietary supplement that we're super proud of. So, yeah. It's now just about opening up the floodgates from a manufacturing and supply chain perspective and starting to scale the business, whilst at the same time continuing the growth momentum in our Israel business. Okay. So this is going to be a major component from a direct to consumer.
Yeah. And lastly, I want to ask you just about cannabis as well, because we've talked quite a bit about that. Is that going to be a factor this year, or is that more preparing for 2023?
Yeah, that's a good question. One other key point I want to share just on the VINIA business, Steve, before we move on to cannabis, I know you're keen to move to cannabis, is that we're also in a number of, I would say, highly positive discussions from a B2B perspective on the VINIA business with some pretty big giants of US industry across some very strategic categories. So obviously, as we look at our 2022 overall numbers, we're, I would say, cautiously optimistic that we're going to be able to land one of these potential B2B partners that we're having discussions with. And that, again, will provide further momentum, additional momentum to the VINIA business. From a cannabis perspective, as you're aware, and our partners are aware, we're in the final stages of our commercialization process. In fact, we announced as well today that we are actually growing cannabis, and it's a real spectacle to see. We're growing cannabis in industrial scale bioreactors, And this allowed us a 700% increase in scaling versus our medium bioreactors. So this just provides significant more efficiency for us, and obviously improves the overall economics for our cannabis business. 2022 for us, as we look at the numbers, we're working to launch cannabis product here in the Israeli market. And then we're spending a lot of energy right now. We announced last week about our intentions to set up operations in Canada, as well as obviously we're working on laying the foundations for what a North American entry would look like. So that's really how we'll start to, kind of scale the cannabis business as kind of like a phase one in 2022, and then really moving into scaling 2023 and building the foundation for that scaling in 2023 in the North American business.
All right, we'll leave it there, Elon. Be excited to see how this year rolls out. Great to talk to you again. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, there's Elon Sobel. He's the CEO of BioHarvest Sciences.